Hello class, welcome to another session of live physics lecture. We are just started out our orientation class for this new batch of A1 21 20 AY 21 22 P1 SEM1 students. We have started the first chapter yesterday in the form of orientation class or in the form of awareness class, wherein we have dealt some basic parts of physical world, or this physical world chapter is giving you an overview of all the various things what you are going to learn in 2 years of intermediate. This is going to give you the overview. What you hopefully you know what do you mean by overview, right? Outline. This in this chapter of physical world, we are going to be introduced. We are going to be introduced to all the physics parameters what you are going to learn. The terminology of physics what you are going to learn is being introduced in this. And yesterday you have given me answer also, like what is it you are going to learn, various different chapters: heat, optics, refraction, electromagnetism, current, electricity, various things you learned, modern physics, electronics, right? All the different branches what you are going, I'm just giving you the final line. In physical world, we'll be having an overview of the various topics what you are going to learn in 2 years of intermediate. In first year intermediate, you are going to get 14 chapters. In second year of intermediate, you are going to get 16 chapters. In all these 16 plus 14, 30 chapters, whatever you have, will be introduced in the form of headings. Which scientist proposed what kind of theory, how the scientists are going to give some kind of approach to any kind of physics concept, how scientists are going to explain. They make some kind of concepts like this in the form of unification and reduction. Unification means gathering too many things, I told you yesterday. Reduction means removing the unwanted things. By putting all these things in proper format, they are going to come to one conclusion. And anything what comes to conclusion will not be tallied or verified or given directly. That is going to be verified by some other departments like research institutes and all. They do that. I mean, verification. Any kind of a theory put forward by any scientist has to be proved experimentally also. Theoretically, we say 100 things. Theoretically, I say this is 100 centimeters. This marker length is 100 centimeters, or I say 1 kilometer. But can I prove this if I say like that? Can I prove this is 1 kilometer if I say this is theoretically 1 kilometer? No, I cannot prove. Now this is an invalid theory. So any kind of concept, either Newton's law of gravitation, it could be, or Einstein's mass energy equivalence, it could be, or Kepler's law of planetary motion, it could be, or Newton's laws of motions, it could be. Any kind of things, any kind of theories put forward by various scientists. Many scientists, large number of scientists, some thousands of scientists are there altogether. Even some lakhs also, in fact. Some people will not come to limelight so early. Some theories would be not proved also. Accordingly, it keeps on moving. The entire universe keeps on moving by various theories. Only that kind of a theory which was verified or which was proved experimentally would be taken in the form of this approved concepts. Accordingly, the thing what they are going to follow is unification and reduction. Means unification is study of too many things, and reduction means what all not needed is being removed from that. And we start our physics with this basic concept. We start our physics with one of the concept called as modern physics. This is general physics. It is. In general physics, we start with the basic force. General physics starts with the basic element of a force. No need to write, Tilak. No need to write now. Just listen. Just listen for a while. Wait for a while, I'll let you know when to write and what to write. Just listen for this class as of now. Right? No need to write anything by anyone. Now, in general physics, physics is having actually various branches. Physics have various branches. Heat is one of that branch. Thermodynamics is one such branch. Optics is one such branch. Electricity is one more branch. modern physics, atomic physics, nuclear physics, astronomy, astrophysics, applied physics, electronics and instrumentation. There are various branches of physics like this. We are now going to start one by one. We start with the basic part of physics, and basics of all that is in the form of general or modern physics. And in this, we will be focusing much on force. Force is a basic thing which we have discussed as F is equals to M into A. The funny part is not needed now. The fun part is apart. Now, apart from the fun, force is equals to what? Mass into acceleration, the basic definition of a force. In that way, we are going to have various terminologies related to this general physics. Now, we say there are many forces, but there are some important basic forces present in the nature. Well, first of all, what is physics? Physics is understanding the nature. Or only physicists can explain what is happening in the nature through proper explanations. Why rainbow is formed could be explained by refraction and reflection phenomena by physicists. Why raindrops are spherical in nature? It is nature only, right? Where raindrops or the shape of raindrop, it is spherical. Why it is spherical? That is explained because of surface tension, as according to the physics phenomenon. Or we understand, we try to, physicists are very clever. Physicists are so smart that they can explain anything by using any kind of a concept, and we cannot deny that explanation. In that way, physicists are very smart. So accordingly, if I ask you one basic question now, as I said, we'll be having interactive classes. If I say, name some of the forces what you know, how many forces you know as of now? You can get many answers, right? You'll get hundreds of answers. Muscular force, somebody answered, Rekha, muscular force, gravitational force, molecular force, right? Buoyant force, normal force, tensional force, frictional force. Do we come across many kinds of forces? Yes, hundreds of forces you can name. Hundreds of forces. There are, this universe is managed by very large number of forces. Now, listen, it's enough. Yeah, your answers are enough. Now, out of all the different types of forces in physics, we consider these four as the basic important forces. Which four? There are numerous forces present in the universe, but out of all the four, now you should know this basic question. What are the four basic forces that govern the universe? Question is what? What is the question now? What are the basic forces which govern the universe? The basic forces which govern the universe are strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force, electromagnetic force, gravitational force. Apart from these, any other forces are nothing but the forces which are derived from these forces. This is a basic force existing, and from this basic force, you can extract any other different kinds of forces what you have mentioned so far. Clear? Now, as a physicist, as a physics student, you should know one important question by the end of this, that there are four basic forces that are governing the universe, that are governing the nature. What are those forces? Those four basic forces are strong nuclear force. We simply call it as strong force. Strong force, weak force, electromagnetic force, gravitational force. Now, once we did this kind of forces, you should now say, where are these present? Where gravitational force is present? Where strong nuclear force is present? Where weak nuclear force is present? Where electromagnetic force? You should know this basic part. Is the concept clear? Now, what are the four basic forces we have in the nature? In nature, we consider these are the basic forces which are existing by default. No one is creating this force. This is existing between two planets like that. Yesterday we have said all the planets revolve around the sun, and some satellites revolve around the earth. Yeah, right? You should now say that out of all the different types of forces we have these, we physicists are considering these are the basic forces. Now question is, where do we find gravitational force? Question is, Where is that we are going to find this gravitational force? Gravitational force is going to exist between any two masses as explained by Newton's law of gravitation. Earth has got some mass, sun has got some mass. In between sun and the earth, there is some kind of the pull taking place, because of which earth is continuously revolving around the sun. There must be some force given by the sun on the earth there, then only it can start revolving, otherwise it will go somewhere else. Yes or no? So these two masses separated by some distance is exerted by what kind of force between them? These are exerted by gravitational force between them. Or you should know this simple thing. What is that? Gravitational force will exist between any two masses in the universe, not only sun and the moon, not only sun and the earth, not only anything. It is between any two masses. There you will understand more about gravitational force once we start the chapters. Only basic outline where it exists. It exists between any two masses. Then second one, strong nuclear force. You must have some basic idea. What is nuclear force? What is nucleus? Yeah, any masses, Rekha, it is in between any two masses. Yeah, gravitational force is universally accepted force. It would be existing in any two masses between these two, marker and the duster. In between these two also there is gravitational force. In between these two also there is gravitational force. In between a book and a stone also there is a gravitational force. Any two masses in the universe are exerting gravitational force between them. And secondly, strong nuclear force. Nuclear force exists within the nucleus. What is nucleus? Nucleus is the center of an atom. Nucleus is the center of an atom. What is atom? Atom is the smallest particle present in any matter. This is the matter. This is the matter. Extended body, larger body. If I take a small part from this, the smallest particle, what can be taken from this can be called as the atom. The center of that atom is called as nucleus. Nucleus consists of positively charged particles inside. Nucleus consists of the thing called as nucleons. The particles what are, I have written here, the particles what are present in the nucleus are called as nucleons. And what are the nucleons? Nucleons are generally protons and neutrons. And around this center, the negatively charged particles are revolving around it, named as electrons. Protons, electrons, and neutrons. And when we call that force in the nucleus as strong, when we call, just listen, you can answer it later. When we call the force within the nucleus, nuclear force is a force exerting upon the constituents, nucleons, by the nucleus on its nucleon. Force exerting by the nucleus onto its nucleons is nuclear force. When we call that as strong force, we call that as strong force because it is highly impossible. It is highly impossible if this is what the atom is, if this is the center. Now let me just enlarge that center. If this is the center, center consists of too many particles inside that called as protons and neutrons. Now we call this as a strong nuclear force if it is impossible to take out one proton from the nucleus. If it is so strong, can you take out that proton easily from that? Can you take one particle from this easily? Can we take that particles from that easily? If you take out easily, what does it mean? You're applying force on this to remove a particle. If you can do this easily, can you call that force as a strong force? No, we cannot call it as. When can you call it as a strong force? When can you call it as a strong force? If nucleus is binding all the particles inside that so tightly so that it is very difficult for anyone to apply any force on this to remove this. How much force you need to apply to remove that one? You should apply that force which is more than this nuclear force, which is not possible. Means strong itself means it is not possible to give that force by mechanically by us. Or the force exerting by the nucleus onto its nucleons, that is protons or neutrons, is a strong force because it is highly possible for anyone mechanically to remove one particle, one proton or one neutron from the nucleus by applying the mechanical force. Since it is so difficult, we consider this force as a strong nuclear force. Or out of all this, which one is the strongest force means this is the strongest force. More stronger is the force, highly difficult it is to make that particle to come out. If the force is very weak, now the nucleus, listen, now nucleus not only exerts force within this, also exerts force onto the particles which are present in the outermost orbit in the form of electrons. Protons and neutrons are present inside the nucleus. These are held by some force in between them, and electrons are present outside the nucleus, and these are also rotating around this nucleus continuously. Means there is some force between these two which is making this one to rotate like this, and more is the distance between nucleus and the electron, lesser and lesser is the force. Clearly, if it is so close, it is stronger force. If electron is present at a large distance from the center, force between them decreases, and nucleus is exerting force on the electron. But is this a strong force or a weak force? Because it can be removed easily by application of mechanical force, therefore this would be now considered as what? This is now considered as the weak nuclear force. Are we clear? Less force. Are we clear so far? Are we clear? Hope you're getting. Maybe I may be going a bit fast, but make sure you should follow faculty. It's not that faculty will follow you. Hopefully you're getting me. Somebody said no, but I can't help it. You should concentrate. See, when you are attending these online classes, at most concentration is needed. It's not like a mechanical offline class so that you can you will be given some kind of time to think or allocate like that. You should concentrate thoroughly, at least for this time. For this complete session, you should have your full concentration here. You forget about your father, mother, or any other at home doing some kind of work. They may be disturbing you, they may be giving you some snacks, they may be giving you tea, coffee, milk and all, anything it is. But you should not be disturbed, and tell your parents also not to disturb when physics class is going on. Our physics sir is not just sir, he is just dinosaur. Clear? So see this, all these things is actually meant only to make you understand. If you concentrate, understand. Without concentrating, understanding online is difficult. Without concentrating on the things and trying to understanding anything in online mode is really difficult. So try to have your more concentrations here. So we are talking about different types of forces. Nucleus will exert force on two kind of things. One is for the particles within the nucleus, and the particles are present outside the nucleus. And outside the nucleus will be considered as weak nuclear force because they are at present at large distance and can be removed easily by smaller forces. But the particles which are present inside this are not at all possible to remove them because of the strong force existing between them. These are all naturally occurring processes. We are not giving any force to on. This is happening naturally. That is the reason we say basic forces, fundamental force. Basic is nothing but fundamental. Fundamental forces, basic forces in nature, it means that. Then, what is another force? We have three forces are finished. But the other force we have electromagnetic force. This is more important. Now, the present day world is running because of this electromagnetic nature only. So, to understand this electromagnetic force, we should know what electricity is. We should know what magnetism is. And what the combination of these things is what we should know. Electricity, electrical force will be existing between two charges. What kind of charges? Positive charge and the negative charge. Magnetic force is the force existing between two magnetic poles. We say that every magnetic pole will have some magnetic pole strength with it. Force between two magnetic pole strengths is called as magnetic force. Force between two charges is called as electric force. And if these two are put together, magnets and seriously talking, These two cannot be separated. You know this? You know this? Now try to get one important point. These two, electric fields and magnetic fields, are not separate things. Wherever you find electric field or electric force, there you will find magnetic field also. It is inbuilt. Both are put together itself. Where there is electricity, there is magnetism. Where there is magnetism, there would be electricity. You can simply understand this by simple rules. Yes, it is not possible to separate. But what we do in physics, we study electrical things separately first, because you need to understand what is electricity completely. We study magnetism separately. That is what we say. Overview in the overview of physics, we say that we introduce all the physics terms, not that randomly put together we introduce all that. We put one by one. We go step by step. This is like understanding numbers. This is like understanding fractions, and put together is like understanding in the form of summation, like multiplication, division, right, subtraction, all that. Our ultimate aim is to completely understand electromagnetic nature. But how can you understand electromagnetic nature? To understand this, first of all, you should understand what is electrical nature. You should then understand what is magnetic nature. Once you are clear with that, then we say that these two combined state is what we call it as electromagnetic nature. And this is now the main source where sun is giving us light. The sunlight what we are getting to us every day, right? From some ages, some million years back, we are getting sunlight to the earth, right? The light what is given by the sun is in what kind of nature now? Sunlight what we get is in the form of electromagnetic nature. What is this electromagnetic nature? Electromagnetic nature means this particular radiation or the light what is coming out consists of oscillating electric fields and magnetic fields with that. Electric field would be existing like this. Magnetic field would be always perpendicular to electric field. Now this is what these two things is. If one is electric field, other is magnetic field, and these two would be continuously oscillating like this. These would be continuously oscillating. It means it is something like this. It is now going to oscillate continuously like this. Right? That is a basic definition of electromagnetic nature. We'll understand that electromagnetic nature in a later stage. We are just giving some introduction here. This is not the final class of electromagnetic. This is just the introduction. Electromagnetic nature or electromagnetic force is a force exerted by the charges and magnetic poles, and how these are exerting forces on each other is also because why it is a fundamental force. Why magnetism is a fundamental force? Because in nature we get magnets, and if you take two such magnets and bring them closer, they may either attract or they may repel away from each other. If it is attraction or repulsing is taking place, then it is called as a force. Accordingly, it is happening naturally. Therefore, it is a basic force. So the conclusion is that I'm just concluding the things. There are four basic fundamental forces in the universe. What are they? Strong force, weak force, electromagnetic force, gravitational force. You should know the order of these forces, which is highest, which is smallest. Out of all the four forces, which is the highest means strongest force. Which is the strongest force? Strongest force is nuclear force. What is second highest force? Second highest force is electromagnetic force, because this is the one which is coming from sun to the earth. Second force is sun to the earth, that is electromagnetic force. Third one is weak nuclear force, because these are some smaller distance. But the last one is the weakest of all the forces is gravitational force, because this existing between sun and the earth also, these are separated by a very large distance. Two masses can be separated by any large distance. Now I am here at my place, Basar. You are at your places. In between you and me also there is some force. But how much is the distance between you and me? A very large distance. Those who are closer to me, because remember this formula, hopefully you know this formula for force. Force is equals to some G multiplied by M1, M2 by R square. R is the distance between both masses. R is the distance between both masses. Now my mass is M1, your mass is M2. There is some distance between you and me in the form of R. G is some constant. We'll talk about this constant later. Now force is equals to how much? Product of our masses divided by the square of the distance between the masses. In that way, we are good. Now, then if we say that in between two masses, if I just now I said, but in between these two there is some mass. This is M1, this is M2. Distance between them is R1. If this is the case, why are we not able to see the force? That's weak code for me user. Right. That's fine. Now, why are we not able to feel this force between these two? If I take this magnet, I can feel the force. They may attract. If I take same polarities, they may repel. I can see the force. If you take two charges, they may attract. You can see the force. If you take nuclear force, because I'm not able to any force. But in two masses, why are you not able to see the force? Because of this factor called as what? Universal gravitational constant, which is of the order of what? 10 to the power of minus 11. 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11. Minus 11 means how much? Minus 11 means how much? 0.000 up to how many times? 10 times and then 1. 0.0000001. 10 times and then 1. 10 or 9, 3, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a range of the force, very small force. Yes or no? Accordingly, we will not feel that force. Can't see. Pallavi, you are not able to see the board, or you are seeing that order of 10 to the power of minus 11 is very small. Yeah, I think you are talking about 10 to the power of minus 11, right? Not about this board part. Fine. Yes, sir, that's good. Fine then. So, what is the strongest force? Strong force is the strongest force. What is the weakest force? Some people may ask you these questions. Out of all the basic forces, which is the strongest force? Out of all the basic forces, the weakest force. Strongest is strong nuclear force. Weakest is gravitational force. This is first from top. This is last, fourth position. Then what are the remaining two? Second is electromagnetic force. Third is weak nuclear force. This is about the nuclear force or the basic types of forces we have. I'll just remove or stop this. Now, in that way, we have only these things like what is an atom, what the formula, what the things related to atom and all. Now, what I'll do is I'll just stop this concept of. Is that things clear? Like in physical world, what is that we need to talk? Just the outline, just the methods, what scientists have been followed, just the basic types of forces, order of the forces, which is strong, which is more. If you know this basic part, it is sufficient. If you know this part, it is sufficient as of now. Now, let me get back to orientation part. Let me just talk about the orientation part. Most of the people asking me about how to write the notes. Right? Just listen to this. Yeah. With respect to notes, you can maintain one running notes for yourself. Like from Monday, we start our chapter 2 directly. Now, from physical world, you can make your own concept, like so far yesterday and today, what is that you have understood. Putting all this in the form of physical world, you can write points there. In your notes, you can write the points. You can buy one long notebook for physics. Now, clearly put dates for each and everything. On day 1, 21st, 10 October 21. What sir has taught you. What is that you got from that? Make the points of that. You write notes. You can write your own running notes. To make these notes easy, what I recommend to our students is that first keep one rough book when class is going on and make the points in a rough notes, like in the form of point wise, in the form of minutes of the meeting. Then you fade it in these notes after the class when you get some free time. You should do some regular work. See, without doing any work, you cannot learn anything. Simply by listening, you will get nothing. Sir, ba cheppadu, maku vachesindi anukunte you will not get. Very good, Chandratej. I appreciate that. It's clear? If you are just listening and leaving, you will get 0. Either in the form of marks or in the form of constant 0. You should just listen. You should just listen and write the updated notes day wise, when you do some work, yes, I'm recording this class, not to worry, Aishwarya. Yeah, this part is also been recorded, not to worry. Clear now? You should write your notes when you are listening to the class. When you are opening up physics class, be ready with your rough book and a pen. Just listen what has been taught on that class, make some points roughly, and once the class is completed, once you're getting some free time, if not getting any free time, create some free time for half an hour is sufficient, 30 minutes, and fare the notes by putting the date on that date, what is it you have learned. On day 1 you'll find less, on date you'll find less, but by the end of 15 days or 20 days you'll find plenty of things in your book. We'll also teach you how to write. We'll also teach you how to write problems, what kind of problems have to be solved. Once we start this, once we start the actual chapter of second chapter, we'll get all those things also, numericals also. Now, this is one part. Second part is, with respect to physical world, as I told you, you'll not be getting any questions either in the form of exams or anywhere. Just it is only overview, only listening or understanding. So no need to bother about the questions from this chapter. Right? The points what you understood and leave it. From second chapter, you will have numericals, worked out problems, all that. I'll be posting some questions in Google Classroom every day. Only one book is sufficient, right? As of now, one book is sufficient, right? Secondly, I am going to provide you the PDFs of each and every chapter. You can maintain your own running notes, and I am going to give you the PDF of my notes. What I am giving, what I am teaching. I have PDFs of all this. Last time when they were offline classes, I have dictated notes in the classes because last time I had large number of Telugu medium students and they compulsorily need these notes. Accordingly, I have that notes with me. Before starting of the chapter, I will be providing the PDFs. If you are starting second chapter on Monday, for second chapter PDF, I will provide you on Monday morning. And when class is going on or before class, you can just go through what the things taken in that and just listen to the video or this live class, so you'll understand that thoroughly. Means you are doing some work, you'll then understand this. PDFs would be provided. Yeah, for physical world also, I will provide you the PDFs. You can use white paper books, unruled white papers for writing physics notes. Fine. Right. So notes, you can make rough notes first, then fare it. While faring, you can check these PDFs also, you can fare here. You can check the points, what has been written in the rough notes. You can check the PDFs, what has been provided by me, compare these two and make your own notes. See, making your own notes is a very important point here. Why making own notes is a very important point means that is the one which really helps you in understanding the entire concept. No matter if you listen to one thing 100 times, you'll not get. No matter if you listen to anything 100 and long. If you try it once, you'll get it for a long time. How PDFs through Google Classroom? I will PDFs through. No need to write separate notes. Within the same notes you can write. You can use that PDFs for reference purpose. The PDFs, today I'll post that first PDF of physical world. After this class, I'll post that. I'll post that in Google Classroom. Only one book is sufficient, Srikar, for physics as of now. Classworks, no internal mark, Shiva. Right, this is the second point. First point, second point. Third point is that regularly, depending on the topic what we complete on that day, I'm going to give you some example problems in Google Classroom. Example questions I'll give you. Example problems. You can also write these example problems by solving after getting the answer. I'll provide you answers if you need. And once you are ready with that, you are understanding that one, you can write it in your notes. Anything you are writing for physics, you can write in class notes only. But make sure that every time you put date and write that, so that we will understand when we have did what kind of things. Yeah, total notebooks of we should maintain is only one. Yes, in only one book you can write anything related to physics. Either it could be your own notes, or it is a comparison of the PDFs what I provide, or it is examples what is been given in the Google Classroom for learning purpose. Any learning, this is what the learning strategy. I told you in the class, in the heading of our class, learning strategy. This is what the learning strategy is. We are not talking about what? We are talking about the learning strategy. And somebody is asking about internal marks. Internal marks will be having common assignment test. Fair notes, this notes itself what you're writing is fair. What you are writing in the form of rough book you are writing, right? Once you are writing all that, you are updating in the notes. This itself is a fair notes, Vaishnavi. We'll be having some common assignment schedule. According to that common assignment schedule, we'll be having assignments, 10 assignments. Yesterday I told you this. Those 10 assignments, out of 10, 4 would be, yeah, we'll give that schedule. Manikanta, wait for a while. Just wait for a while. Yeah, 4 assignment quizzes will conduct. Out of 10, best of 4 would be chosen. Each 10 consists of each 10 marks. 4 into 10, 40 marks is the internal marks. As of now. As long as online is there, this continues. Yeah, you can write in your running notes. Can you write textbook questions? You can write. See, anything related to learning is always welcome. We give you some work. Apart from that, in textbook, you will find large number of questions, large number of 1 mark questions, large number of summary points. Anything what you are interested in order to learn is always welcome, is most welcomed thing. Your interest is not suppressed. We will not say that not to write. Is it compulsory? No, it's as long as you are interested to learn, it's compulsory. If you are interested to learn many things, it's better to write, then you'll understand what it is. Anything what helps you in acquiring the knowledge is most welcomed every time. What about MTs? MTs, there is no clarity on that, Divya, about MTs. We'll wait and watch like what universe will decide. After November 1st, either offline classes, online classes, decision would be taken. Accordingly, decision would be taken about this monthly test also. Which study material is useful for physics? You will find we have PDFs for that also. Materials, study materials also, PDFs we have. We'll provide you that also. Sakshi material is there, which is good, which gives you all the answers through online mode. You can get that. We'll provide you that also, study material also. See, plenty of things would be given to you. It only depends on you, like how you take that, how you learn that, what you learn from that. Take the points and write the points in it. Can you send the textbook PDF? Textbook PDF is not there with me right now. Material PDF is there. We'll provide you chapter wise. From Monday, we'll start providing you. Yeah, one fair, yeah, it is enough. That would be sufficient. We have online classes going on. If it goes offline, again, one book is sufficient right now, as of now. Now, listen, all of you, one important thing, hopefully you can say this. Instead of buying too many books like materials of Vikram or Chaitanya, Narayana, whatever the different kinds of books, better buy only one book. Very good, H.C. Varma. Only one book, Concepts of Physics, Volume 1 and Volume 2. This exists in 2 volumes. Volume 1 and Volume 2 by H.C. Varma. This is a book which is highly recommended for physics for your entire lifetime. Yeah, those who have this, that is good. It is enough. Those who don't have, you can buy these books. This would be helpful for your entire lifetime. Concepts of Physics by H.C. Varma. This will come in 2 volumes, Volume 1 and Volume 2. You can buy this as a reference for any time physics. Anywhere you can use this throughout your life. This is applicable. Yeah, many other books are also there, but I recommend only this. Halliday and Resnick is there, DC Pandey is there, and Friedman and Eng, University of Physics by Friedman and Eng is there. That is also a very nice book. But too many books are also not sufficient. One book, what I highly recommend to any kind of HC German or Amma? HC Verma it is. It is HC Verma. No, I don't have PDFs of this. Yeah. After this class, I do share as many things as I can. Yeah, you can just use this. This is one of the thing. What is needed? Is it necessary to buy the book? Which book you mean to say? HC Verma? Yeah, it is necessary as long as you want to learn something in physics. As long as you want to make your skills to grow in physics, it is better to have one book with you. I'm telling you, this is a book providing for entire life, right? Is it available in bookstalls? It would be available. So there is no urgency also right now. No urgency right now. You can take time to buy this. Take 1 month time. Check wherever it is applicable. It is applicable. It is available online also. I'll check out. I have not done any time earlier. I have already old books I have bought from the shop. I can do that. You can also check that. I'll do that if you wish. Yeah, it's available in online. Yeah, it is available. Amazon, Flipkart, it would be there. Yeah, it is there. It would be available. Any other doubts? Like, is that clear? Notes part? PDFs I'll provide you. I'll provide you study material. I'll provide you the live class like this. Just listen to the class, make your important points, make the fair notes of all these things. And numerical problems also we give you chapter wise, day wise. I'll give you day wise numerical problems. From Monday we start. I'll be providing you some numerical questions. You need to solve on that. And once you get the correct answers, you can fair that in the given notes, the fair notes, what I said just now. This is about this one. Exam schedule, exam preparation pattern is clear. A monthly test, how we do, assignment quizzes, how we do, how to write exam, how to do all that basic introductory part is completed as of now. Yes or no? Project works in online, it is not possible. Actually, like very good question, Shiva. Last time what I did was, I'll do that later, Ujjwal. Shiva, last time what I did was, there are some kind of topics in physics such as simple pendulum, spring mass system, finding out acceleration due to gravity using simple pendulum, this kind of things. I gave work to students in online mode only. I'll explain you how to do that experiment. You can do at your homes, you can record that what you are doing and you can send that in YouTube. By uploading that in YouTube, you can share the link of that YouTube. We'll share that across all the members of the class. Last time our students did this. We can go ahead. See, time is the important criteria here. We'll be having lots of works. Our time would be less. And still, if you feel we have time, we can go ahead. We can do any kind of projects also. Science fest. Now, during this lockdown, earlier it was there, many things were there, tech fest was there, science fest was there, many things were there earlier. Now, right now, because of time constraint, corona factors and all are suppressed. No, don't know whether they are going to be resumed or not again. Yeah, I'll send that sheet, face sheet, Sanjana. No, Anjiya, very good question. Listen, very important thing this is. The topics what have been covered in online mode will not be repeated in offline again once you come back to the campus. Clear? Online classes what we deal will not be repeated in the offline mode once you come back to campus. Once you come back to campus, from there what all the syllabus left, that would be covered. We cannot take the same thing again and again by repeating the things. It is not possible to do like that. Time will not be sufficient. So only one time we take, and this is the final time it is. Your preparations for exams also should be in the same form. Listen, your preparations for the exam should also be in the same way. Like, you should prepare it for one time and it is a final time. You should never touch that again. You should get that concept in that way. Fine. Any other doubts? Any other doubts? I'll just stop the recording and we have a general discussion. College timings, it is, it is in doubt, in stay, you are staying inside the campus. It is 24 hours running university, whereas classes will run from 9 to 12:30 and again 1:30 to 4:30 and again study hours from 8 to 10. PDFs are not available, I think, for HC Verma. I'll check. If I find, I'll post that. Offline classes, let me just stop recording because we're having general discussion. I'll just stop recording. Wait.